The most haunted places in America by Papa Meat.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because we're talking about something that's
I'm ready. The commitment.
Today we're going to be talking about the most haunted locations in America. Now, a lot of these locations I've heard of before as well, but I've never actually dove into some of these. Like some of these we're going to be talking about have movies based around them or whatever. But I was actually curious to see some of the most haunted places in America. I mean, I believe in ghosts.
Low God.
All the scientists, all the elite, very, very smart people who watch this channel and
leave wonderful comments.
are going to say, Hunter, what are you talking about? I've come in contact with a few ghosts myself, Nick.
Yeah, when?
Well, I couldn't see him or anything, but it was. But let me know. I'll say this: is that I hate going into a building and feeling that little. What did you just experience a ghost? He just shivered. You just shivered. Did you just experience a ghost? I have to pee. Have to pee? No, you better hold it. So just know that I've had my own little run-in with ghosts laying down, and my friend. It kind of sounds like I'm having gay sex with my friend. Laying down, had sleepovers with my buddies, and
you know what? I don't judge. No, that you gotta sleep with the homies, right? You gotta tuck yourself in with the homies.
You know, you hear something creak. What? And I hate when people are like, it's just the house settling. Really, dude? It's a 23-year-old house. It's just settling. The tectonic plates are shifting. If it was like a house from the 1800s, I'd be like, sure.
What if the house is built on burial grounds? And
what if the house is built on a Beanie Baby burial ground or like Tamagotchis?
No, go ahead and say Indian burial grounds, dude. What, Indian burial grounds? That's offensive, dick.
Wow.
All right, first up, we have Amityville. We want to start with some of the heavy hitters so then people...
Ah, yes, the Amityville horror.
I know that. Amityville is like the most popular haunted house, and I think it's even recorded to be the most haunted house ever, which I don't know how you clarify the most haunted, which I'm guessing they just mean like the most documented hauntings.
notorious.
Excuse me. I had chicky nuggets before this, and some of the breading has assailed my throat. And is actively trying to silence me. So if I cough, I do apologize. I am currently fighting for my life after chicken nuggets.
Notorious haunted house, whatever. It started its legend in Amityville, New York on November 13th, 1974, when 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr., good guy, shot and killed 6 members of his family.
Rough.
Jumped the gun on that one a little bit.
A little bit.
This included his mother, father, 2 sisters, and 2 brothers. Got the whole goddamn cheaper by the dozen family in there, don't they? Armed with a 35 caliber Marlin rifle, DeFeo shot his family members as they slept. How do they all stay asleep? Oh, it's a big house. Or do you think he like put a pillow over it? You ever played like Max Payne?
I mean, it honestly depends, right? Depends. Light sleepers, heavy sleepers. Person is probably going to know sleeping habits. Systematically go through silence most problematic one by one. I mean, yeah, probably shutting a door would probably help. It depends state of mind at the time. If he did think to shut the doors, or if he was fast enough to do it. I mean, like, I don't know. There's a couple lines of logic here.
3, there's like a level where he puts a plastic bottle over the tip of his gun as a silencer, and I'm like, would that work?
Mythbusters did that.
The ATF would like to know your location.
They said it didn't work. It's a cool idea, at least. Just like a thing of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
He shot most of them in the head and a few of them in the back. That seems cool. Even from a guy who's possessed or something, just shoot all of them in the head. If you're gonna, come on.
I think the ones he hated the most, he shot in the back.
Oh, he definitely shot his family in the back. Dad's like, oh, he'd probably take a couple shots in the back to kill somebody. Originally, DeFeo blamed the murders on a mob hitman. It was the Italians that killed my family. The Italians. But as time passed, Ronaldo DeFeo confessed to the murders himself. DeFeo told investigators that he heard voices urging him to kill his family. I was hoping my life would go in this trajectory, dude. That angels or demons would tell me. The angels came and told me to shoot my dad 3 times in the back. This is the day after your sister, like, I don't know, broke your sick Lego collection. Like, I just got the Eye of Sauron Lego set. No! Angels told me to kill her.
Oh, no, that's rough.
Told me to throw her down the well. I don't know. Way back in the 70s.
Yeah. Lassie just was doing some community service. Okay, I don't know how she ended up down the well. No, this has no correlation to the Eye of Sauron Lego tower being broken by any means. No way.
People got to be way more susceptible to being like, wait, what? Angels told you to do this? Not a bad fall plan. But later, during the trial, he admitted to being drunk and high on heroin, and his parents were abusive. Okay. There it is. The little angel, the little demon on my shoulder was a bag of H.
You have to understand, though. This was what, 1974 going. This was almost the 80s, right? All I'm gonna say, the CIA was having a party at about this time.
Heroin. He's drunk and he's high on heroin.
What a mix.
I had a couple brewskis, a couple syringes of heroin, and my dad hit me with a belt. What am I supposed to do? Wait! Today we want to thank today's partner, Bad Dragon. If you've been a fan of this channel, then you know that Bad Dragon is...
Bro, no way! The actual unicorn partnership. What a Chad.
A permanent fixture on this channel. They have supported us time and time again, and we want to give you the little ins and outs on what they provide.
Yeah, they provide the best office decorations, okay? If I can't have a 1.5-foot tentacle on my desk, why am I even working? Why am I even working on YouTube? I love this man.
You're trying to spice things up a little bit. Maybe you want to spice up they mans. Maybe you want to spice up they woman's a little bit, right? Maybe you just want to spice up yourself. Well, then Bad Dragon may be the perfect fit for you. And by fit, I mean you're going to shove things inside you, and it's going to make you feel real good. Real good. Or you're going to shove things inside something else. It doesn't matter. All I know is Bad Dragon's products are expertly made, they're handcrafted, they're beautiful, and it's...
I actually could probably, because of what happened with Cottontail... Thank goodness I'm not streaming this over on Twitch. No, sir. I'm certainly not streaming this on Twitch because that would be against community guidelines. No, sir.
Some of the best quality control I've ever seen. We've been to their facility. We've seen how their workers operate. It's such a positive, amazing experience, and it reflects so much in the product itself, and I could not recommend them enough. So please go check out Bad Dragon if you're trying to spice things up for yourself or in the bedroom, and be sure you tell them Papa Meat sent you. So thank you, Bad Dragon, for sponsoring this video, and back to the video.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 ad read. You cannot convince me otherwise. This has been one of those things. I didn't even know they sponsored YouTubers. What do I gotta do? How big do I gotta be? Well, actually, hold up. Wait, that doesn't sound right. What are we looking at? 100K subs? 200K subs? I just need to know what the goal is.
DeVeo was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences in prison. Never understood the consecutive life sentences.
It's in case you're immortal.
Well,
I think it's not. I mean, obviously the joke is if you're more. I think it's to prevent people from getting certain privileges. So if like one life sentence is forgiven is not the word I'm going for. If one life sentence is either finished or resolved is the word I'll use. There's another. It also, I think, deals with certain things like bail and bond and stuff.
Especially if he comes back, if maybe he possesses someone, and they're like, we know it's the ghost of DeFeo. Get him in prison. He's like, no! In the years since his claim of hearing voices, he has admitted to the lie, claiming, quote, there was no demon. You know who the demon is? I am the demon. To be fair, that does sound like something a demon would say.
He's just admitting that there is a demon.
No, there is no demon. I'm the fucking demon. They're just like, what? He's like, no, the entire altercation.
No. See, here's the thing, though. I, dear chat, am not the demon. I am the dingus. Okay. I thought the understanding was that you drink with the demons in your head, like all of them. I thought you all drank around a table and then proceeded to beat the crap out of really cringe memories.
Likely stemmed from DeFeo's theft of $20,000 from his grandfather's car dealership.
Wow.
Fuck this kid. He was tasked with depositing money to the bank, but ultimately had a friend stage the robbery. His father eventually grew suspicious and questioned him, earning a death threat that his son followed up on. So literally his dad was like, did you take $20,000 from Pop at his Toyota Camry dealership? And he's like, no, Dad, I'll fucking slice your throat. He's like,
a little bit of escalation.
Okay, come on, man. And he's like, I'm just like drunk. He's like, I'm gonna get high on heroin and kill my dad. To be fair, though, yeah, I hate to say this, Nick. I hate to say this. If I was already drunk and high on heroin and I was planning on killing my dad, I'd probably just follow through with the whole family.
If I was drunk and high on heroin, I don't know. There's something about a couch, duct tape, and a pina colada. I don't know where I was going with that. There's a shadow of a thought there, though.
Oof. You're fucked, dude.
Come on, man. If you're going down with one ship, are you not going to just go down with them all?
But he didn't kill himself either. That includes you. If you're going to kill your whole family, kill yourself.
I'm not so self-centered, Nick. I don't think I'm my family. But a year after the murders, George and Kathy Lutz bought the Amityville home, and they abandoned the property only 28 days after purchasing it. They were in such a hurry.
Wait a minute. Does that hairspray exist anymore? Remember the whole thing? I've talked about this a few times where TikTok, like, tried to bring back the 80s hair? but it physically didn't work because the product just does not exist anymore.
Home, and they abandoned the property only 28 days after purchasing it. They were in such a hurry, they reportedly left all of their personal belongings behind. I like that. Coming in and you're just like, what happened? Like the idea. I was gonna speculate. It's like, do you think a lot of the horror movie tropes, haunted house tropes today stem from the Amityville house? But there's haunted house fucking movies before the 70s. House on Haunted Hill.
Maybe they were copying.
That's what I'm wondering is the Lutzes were like, hey, let's buy this house where all these that heroin addict killed the Toyota dealership owner, and we'll just say that it's haunted and we'll make a killing off of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? They did buy it 1 year afterwards.
A year after the murders come.
Well, and that's the thing, though, right? I mean, we had the whole, I guess it was the 90s, right? It had to been the 90s, the whole satanic panic in the U.S., right? I mean, like, I would argue new wave practices, as we'll call them, were kind of on the rise, and the whole thing, right? Like, I could see this being a like 300 IQ play to drum up publicity, to flip a value. I could see this angle.
Come on, dude. Usually in movies, the haunted house things like the old DeFonte house up on 12th Street. That thing's been empty for 10 years. Or something, you know what I mean? Something like that. And then you walk in, there's sheets over everything. You whip them on, there's big dust. A year afterwards, come on. Come on. Yeah, right. They claimed that demons drove them out. What if they just found like his heroin and they were just high? They were too embarrassed to admit, yeah, it's demons. I swear to God. And they offered up tales of green slime in the walls, fly infestations, mysterious cold spots, a red room, and strange voices in the night. George Lutz reported waking up at 3:15 every night, which is the approximate time of the DeFeo murders. Which 3:15 is very close to 3:30, which is the demonic witching hour. That ties in a little bit. He also claimed to hear voices urging him to get out, and saw a face in the fireplace with red, glowing eyes.
My God. Conjunctivitis disease.
Kathy Lutz reported feeling as if she was being embraced by an unseen force and levitating off the bed. Jesus Christ, Kathy, goddamn. She's like, something's holding me and I'm flying. Can you imagine her around like, she's like laying in the house, she's like, like flying around the house. George! Oh my God, my wife, I just saw a Apache man's face in the fireplace and I don't even know what the hell's happening here. The youngest child, Missy, spoke to her imaginary friend Jody, who appeared as a demonic pig with red glowing eyes. Okay, first off, stop saying glowing red fucking eyes, dude. I don't.
It's so tropey.
Like, and it had glowing red eyes. That's why I'm like, no, it didn't.
Nah,
You're lying.
Nah.
She had me on imaginary friend who is a demonic pig. A demonic pig named Jody? Are you fucking kidding me? That's creepy. You ever have a younger sibling, or I had a buddy who had a brother who used to like point up at their kitchen ceiling. He'd clap. And we'd be like, dude, stop. What are you looking at? And he's like, my friend. That kind of I hate that. I don't give a fuck if you're a believer or not. A little kid, like, he's like, we're going to our hiding place. Like that. Orphanage. I don't give a fuck.
Believe it or not, straight to the orphanage, okay? He'll be a wizard. He'll get his Hogwarts invitation letter, but not in this house.
If my child did that, fostering him up, send him up the hill to the orphanage, dude. He can clap up there. All the kids who are cool, who aren't fucking psychopaths with imaginary friends, you get to stay. Not you, little Missy. The Lutz family supposedly hired Father Pecarero to bless the home. He went on to say that he was told to, quote, get out. By an invisible voice and was slapped. Get out of here, you son of a bitch, and just slapped him in the face. He's like, the Lord has abandoned this home. And a man named William Weber, who was DeFeo's lawyer, admitted to fabricating the story with George Lutz over a bottle of wine. But
my God. I mean, that sounds just incriminating.
Polygraph taken by Lutz in 2000 revealed
oh my God. Dude, I hate the polygraph. Isn't it like 51% effective? Grats, you have a slightly favorable coin toss. Grats, heads or tails.
And he wasn't lying. Who's telling the truth? I don't know.
Polygraphs are 100% truthful.
Polygraphs
Fact.
are very unreliable.
Yes.
Except when you ask me how big my hog is. And I
Nice.
say, very big. And I'm like, no, it's huge. A seance was held at the house in 1976 where parapsychologists, psychics, and noted demonologists Lorraine and Ed Warren would have.
Oh my God, of course the Warrens come into play here. Just understand, if you're not in the paranormal, like, the Warrens, for all intents and purposes, are very controversial.
appear. Yes, the people from The Conjuring. I was wondering how long it'd take till they showed up. Those old fucks. I wish movies would cast, we were talking about this the other night, cast more freaks. Lorraine and Ed Warren were
Yes,
tough on the
actually.
eyes. Greasy old like German couple. I'm pretty sure, something like that. Yikes. Instead you got Hottie McGee and Hottie Magoo over there playing, making a Conjuring in my pants. That was not a good joke. Which when they
great.
all this fucking, I guess, like Avengers team of the paranormal showed up, and nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. And at 3 a.m. in the sewing room, which was said to have the worst reputation, nothing happened in there either. Like the sewing room was apparently the place where it was the most haunted. Nothing happened. The psychic did say this though: "This is as close to hell as I want to get," which feels kind of weird because it's like, if nothing happened, what does that mean? The drive up here in upstate New York was truly devious.
Maybe he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, oh, this is as close to hell as I want to get. What if there's just like a Puerto Rican guy walking around the house? Oh my god. The 70s. Jesus Christ.
God damn.
The house still stands to this day with no further incidents happening, which is very disappointing. How the fuck can that be the most haunted? That's the most haunted place, or supposedly the most haunted place? Which also, it kind of reads, in my opinion, that the guy who killed his family, DeFeo, seems like he killed them, and then the Lutzes moved in, and they were haunted by DeFeo's family. Even if he's like, I lied about the whole thing, maybe he inadvertently caused ghosts to spook the house.
Inception,
People that
okay.
murdered are haunting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Okay. The Lutz family experiences were later documented in Jay Anson's 1977 book, Amityville Horror, which became a bestseller and was adapted into a film in 1979, which I will say, Amityville 3D was the first horror film I ever watched, and I have a poster of it in my studio. At the end of that movie, a weird sewer goblin pops out, burns a guy's face, and drags him into a watery portal, and the house fucking like explodes. He like freezes up and explodes, and it scared the shit out of me when I was younger.
This sounds like what is it, Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Like this sounds super campy.
Do you want to watch an even scarier version of Amityville Horror?
You talk about the one where I get all fucking bricked up watching Ryan Gosling chop wood.
Ryan Gosling's in it?
He's the dad. He's the dad in the 2005 one, or like the 2006. When was that remake?
2004.
I'm gonna say 2000. I'm gonna say 2006. Amityville 2005.
Damn.
Fuck, it's so close. All right, well, fuck. Next up, we have East Maritello Fort in Key West, Florida. It's not necessarily a place, it's more of a doll, but it's more so the doll. Wherever the doll is, it's haunted, so we went ahead and included it in.
Oh, is this the tiny sailor doll that ended up like going from owner to owner because like it was just like super cursed or whatever, and eventually found its way to a museum? I think I actually know which one this is.
It's a very notorious doll, which the doll is called Robert.
Yeah.
Robert the fucking doll. Manufactured by the Steiff Company of Germany around the 1900s, the doll was given to a young boy named Robert Eugene Otto.
Can we just, why is it when Germany does something, like they go super ham into the thing? Like, like I hear all of this like the Conjuring, it's like, okay, literally heard of a oh god, what was it? Gottlieb and Dittus, and I'm totally mispronouncing it. My German is awful. I apologize. Like Gottlieb and Dittus, like 1800s, like actual like alleged possession case, which was like super metal, super like graphic, and it's just like, why have I never heard of this until literally like the past 2 weeks? Yet I hear everything about The Conjuring. Like, so it turns out when Germany decides it wants to do something, Germany goes all the way.
People usually just called him Gene. Should have called him Bob. I love when guys are called Bob. There's no name you can age in better to than Bob. Robert when you're younger, then you're Bob.
Yeah,
Bob is such a good old person name.
I feel like it's so generic.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Your name's Nick. I mean, Nicks I know in my fucking life. Unbelievable, man. The doll was given by his family's Bahamian servant. The Bahamian servant was rumored to be skilled in voodoo and black magic. That's so racist. He's like, is the doll, little boy? Oi! The Bahamian servant went, Oi, Gene, take this little doll and put it in your knapsack now. Going to be your best friend, you hear? And Gene's dad was like, my God, the help knows voodoo and black magic. What cost did you bring upon the doll, servant? Upon receiving him, Gene...
What voodoo do you do?
named the doll after himself, calling him Robert, which is one of the creepiest things I've ever heard. Imagine getting a doll and you're just like, me. hello, my doll's name's Hunter. And your parents aren't like, you're not a psychopath, you're my beautiful boy. There's no way. He's freaking out. My screen is freaking out. It could be.
It could be, very much
Jesus
so.
Christ, it's like, give me a fucking epilepsy attack. Look at this. Robert the doll is approximately 40 inches tall and is stuffed with wood and wool. He is dressed in a sailor suit that is believed to have belonged to Jean as a child. Once again, gets even fucking creepier. I'm gonna have him wear my little sailor suit. This used to be mine, Robert. The doll's just like, kill me. The doll's face is painted with a disturbing
Bring me the flame. Bring me the candle. I wish I craved to burn.
almost human-like expression. He has large, beady eyes, a painted-on smile, and is holding some kind of weird stuffed toy lion or dog. Jean became extremely attached to Robert, treating him as a companion and a confidant. Kids just creep me the fuck out. I always hate when kids are just like, I tell him my secrets. You ever hear kids say that? I had cousins who were much younger than me. He had like a little doll too, and he'd be like, I tell him my secrets. And I'd be like, what secrets could you possibly have? Wouldn't be a secret if I told you. They always drop some shit like that. You're like, holy shit.
You're like, oh God, what? Have any kids gone missing from your school just under mysterious circumstances? Like they never just showed back up after you went to the beach or whatever? Like actual like Voldemort in the cliff status? Oh no.
It is said that Jean would often blame mishaps on the doll, saying, Robert did it! Jean's parents would often find his toys mutilated or destroyed. Rooms would be found in disarray, with furniture overturned and belongings scattered. Jean would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, claiming that Robert was moving around his room or trying to harm him. Doesn't really sound like a friend to me, dude. Robert keeps giving me Charlie horses. Robert keeps playing tap out with me. He's just like blacked out on the floor. Robert suplexed him into the fucking ground. He also blamed the doll for causing him to have terrifying nightmares and sleep disturbances, and he believed that the doll had a malevolent influence and could cause physical harm to him indirectly.
So that's like, I think like he tripped. Robert did it! Robert did it!
Be honest, if you were the parent of Jean, how much of this do you put up with?
Oh, I'd get rid of the doll.
That's what I don't understand. Is that's the obvious? Well, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean he brings up a good point. That would be the obvious, wouldn't it? I don't know. I actually I feel like parents should weigh in on this one. I mean, at that point, what do you do if you have a situation like this where you seem to have an unruly child and it's blaming it on the doll? I mean, I would assume separating it would be the most common sense choice to do, would it not? I could also be taking the stupid juice. So I mean, I welcome parents to weigh in on this.
What are you doing? No, bring him back. He's my best friend. It seems so far like a child who is desperately wanting attention from his family. And the only person to give him any kind of attention or love is the fucking Bahamian servant. He sees him like crying. He's like, hey, I wish I had from my dad never wants to hang out with me. He's like, don't worry, little boy G. Wipe your tears. I give you a new friend.
His name is Robert, like you.
His name going to be Robert, like you. Thank you, Bahamian servant.
Cut your hand.
All right, strangle this chicken to death and cut your hand and put it into the bowl.
You want Robert to live, right?
Do you want Robert to live or do you want to keep crying? Like, Jesus Christ. The Otto family and their servants reported hearing Jean having conversations with the doll. And sometimes the doll would respond in a different, deeper voice. Robert, do you think I'm pretty? Oh, yes. The servant's like, what kind of gift did I give to this child? Or if you're the dad and you're like reading the paper, Robert, I don't know if I should look at that. Come on, Jean. It's not a big deal. Come on, Jean. Robert, I don't know if I should look at that. Yep. Turns the paper.
Do you think that's when
He just lowers gaze, turns page, just ignores it.
inspired The Shining? Come on.
Oh, probably. Red rum, whatever. There's like a lot of tropes of that kind of stuff, or like kids being like, I don't know. Sure you do. There were also claims of Robert changing expressions and moving independently. That didn't happen. That's like some slappy goosebump shit. Jean's parents and later his wife Anne noted that Jean's behavior would change dramatically when he was around the doll. How long did he have this doll for? How old was he when he got married?
I mean, okay, to be fair though, his parents are clearly well off, are they not? If they can afford the quote unquote the help, right? Like clearly they feel like they're very well off. I mean, I feel like at a certain point, I don't know, maybe it's because like I don't know, like I've had something that was like super annoying, and I've definitely watched something get chucked. I mean, not in any violent way or anything like that. I mean, my dad's super chill. I mean, we're talking like I'm being a nuisance with like some electronic thing at like 3 a.m. Okay, so something's reasonably getting chucked, right? Like I'm the problem here. But I feel like something like at a certain point as a parent, you have to weigh in, and you're just like, okay, this is strange. Why is your behavior strange, like around this doll changing? Like once again, we come back to being an early child. You know, furniture turned upside down, room is a mess. Robert did it, and it's just like, doll's gonna go into orbit.
He has to be an adult, right?
My best man's gonna give you a kiss, honey.
Takes the doll and puts it to his face. Right here, he's just like, don't forget it's for both of us here. He's like, okay, thank God you're rich, or else I wouldn't fucking be here. So yeah, Gene's behavior would change dramatically when he was around the doll. He would become more agitated, irritable, and at times even aggressive. Seems like he kind of has a fuck relationship with the doll.
He would hit Ann and then blame it on Robert.
Yeah, there.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, Gene punches her as hard as he can in the chest. Gene gives her a fucking dead leg. She's like, what the fuck, Gene? He's like, oh, it wasn't me. It was Robert. Robert, you gave me so much trouble. It's like laying on the floor or whatever. He's like wrapping like chains around his like wrist and shit. And he's like, what are you going to make me do, Robert? Even as an adult, Gene continued to believe in Robert's supernatural abilities. Gene's a fucking psychopath. He's scaring the shit out of me. When he and his wife Anne moved back into the family home, Gene placed Robert in a room of his own, often referred.
I'm sorry. What is that hat? Why is that hat? I don't. The hat makes me uncomfortable.
When he and his wife Anne moved back into the family home, Gene placed Robert in a room of his own, often referring to it as Robert's room. Seems like a guy back in the day, like way back in the day, he's like, that's like his jack-off room. You don't want to go in Robert's room. No matter what you do, don't go in there. Respect his privacy, Anne. Anne reportedly experienced the same unsettling phenomena and grew to fear the doll, insisting it be locked away. Despite her efforts, Gene would often find ways to retrieve the doll and keep it close. If I was the wife, I'd be like, put the fucking doll up, dude. He's got to be mentally gone. He's like, he told me he was scared in there. I had to come get him. He told me he was scared. Like, you're 43 years old. You need to fucking work giving it away. After Gene's death in 1974, the house was sold, and the new owners reported strange occurrences, such as the doll moving to different rooms, giggling, and unsettling accidents happened around the house. Visitors reported feeling uneasy in Robert's presence, and many claimed that the doll's expressions changed in response to things being said around him. That's so crazy. After he's dead, they still just have the fucking doll out and about. And like, guess
It's so funny because I'm sure I could reach out to at least 3 people right now and be like, yo, we had a cursed doll, haunted doll situation. I need that bound up in a box. How expensive is this going to be? And if we want to go for flashy, how many KFC herbs and spices am I getting? like, how can we make this work? I want this thing buried in the Atlantic. Here, just bury it. Let's see. This thing will not ever escape this container. To which I have about, no less than 3 people who would go, you could use these herbs and spices. This material would probably work the best. I mean, if you're looking for something, heavy pressure deep down, you kind of want something a little more reinforced. I mean, what's your budget looking like?
around. They're like, hey, can you put up the fucking Victorian, like, weird voodoo doll, please? And they're just like, we can't. It's in the will. Gene's ghost is here haunting us. We can't do it. After changing hands a few times, Robert was donated to the Fort East Martello Museum with claims of him moving about. Cameras and electronics devices supposedly misbehave around him, so we unfortunately don't have any footage of Robert moving.
The cameras don't work around. So hear me out. What happens if we put him in some cinder block shoes? Just throw him out in the Atlantic. Or what happens? Like what are the repercussions of this?
Damn, I really thought that we were going to see a puppet move. Oh my God, wait, we do have one caught on camera. From Jonathan's Other Adventures. Thank you, Jonathan.
So I went to Key West, Florida in 2018 to meet Robert the doll.
After I viewed my video footage, I was shocked to see that Robert had moved his foot all by himself. What? As well as captured a ghostly orb next to his arm. So I'm showing you guys what I've captured. Here's the footage. That is a creepy fucking doll, though, if I'm being honest. It's even creepier knowing that like a Bahamian servant was just like, I got this for you.
Is it gonna be a Rickroll? I'm ready for the Rickroll.
Are those his feet? That's his feet? That boy's got some club feet, dude. He's got some fucking like elephant feet.
He's
He
got
said there
the
was an orb by
bunions.
his arm, right? Oh, right there. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did you see it? On the left side of the door frame.
Gene definitely had to fuck Robert once, right? Watch this foot. Watch, it's the chair moves back and then forward. Whoa! It looks like his foot moved all by itself. Please tell me what you guys think.
Oh my god, I don't know. Like, this is one of those I look at and I'm like, bro, I have to see the instant replay, like NFL instant replay status, like 6 times before I'm like, I guess I could see that. Maybe I'm a boomer. Maybe my pattern recognition is just crap anymore. Like, maybe I've rotted my brain with all the funny memes. I don't know.
I think that the fucking chair moved back. Robert's legend continues to grow to this day. And it is said that anyone who disrespects a doll or takes his photo without his permission will be cursed. So hopefully none of you guys took a screenshot of my video. Or technically we're cursed because we're technically capturing his deal. And my
technically I'm cursed because I'm reacting to this. So once again, how many KFC herbs and spices we are gonna be required for this? I'll spring for the chain. I'll spring for the heavy duty chain. I think the padlock would be more ceremonial, though, right? Like, that's not necessarily required, although it's a nice, like, aesthetic flourish, little touch.
a really sick Logitech monitor just spazzed out, or Samsung. Letters from previous visitors apologizing for their behavior and asking for Robert's forgiveness are displayed near his case, often recounting misfortunes, such as accidents, illnesses, and financial troubles that occurred after visiting him. Imagine they're just like, well, we're going bankrupt. Thanks for that, Robert. After he was moved during the last hurricane, he was tied down to the chair he sits in with a fishing line. After the change, movement stopped being reported, but comments that he twitches his head and swallows remains.
Okay.
Swallows one. Oh, Robert swallows. Next up, we have the notorious Winchester House, which is just this story is very odd. If you guys aren't.
Is this the one with like the I think I'm being excessive, like the 200 some odd rooms? Like this is actually just like the Resident Evil house status, like Spencer Estate. Like this was made to be confusing on purpose.
Heard this one. It's pretty funny. The Winchester House is a sprawling mansion located in San Jose, California, known for its bizarre labyrinth-like design.
Excuse me.
Because the bitch who owned the place is crazier than all hell. She's.
I could, you know what? All I'm saying, someone like that showed up to a date, and they're just like, yeah, no, I effectively designed the Spencer Estate. I could date that.
Crazier than a shithouse rat, which is one of my favorite expressions. My grandpa used to say it a lot. My mom used to say it a lot because they're white trash. It was the personal residence of Sarah Winchester, the widow of William Winchester, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. It's a gun company. Bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. Sarah built the house after she inherited a vast fortune from her husband's death. Just like Bezos' wife did. Just like Bezos' wife. She also lost her daughter, Annie, just weeks after her birth due to malnutrition. Jesus Christ. The successive losses of her daughter and husband deeply affected Sarah, leading to prolonged periods of mourning and isolation. Yeah, definitely. Extreme depression and trauma. She's probably just like, ugh. Well, especially like that far back, because this is like 1800s. You definitely would be like, oh, I'm cursed. We're cursed. The Winchester.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like tragic events like this definitely do scar people. I mean, even nowadays with access to, modern treatment, therapy, medication, tragic events just leave their scars on people. Like, yeah. It changes somebody.
Her name's cursed. Legend has it that she was advised by a medium in Boston that she was haunted by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles, and that she needed to continuously build a house to appease these spirits. That seems like that should be illegal to say that to a billionaire widow. Yeah. Especially like a manic woman who probably shows up and she's like, yeah, I'll give you all the gold. Just tell me what's wrong. She was.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely reeks of just manipulation. Allegedly opens you up to being conned, taken advantage of, etc.
Told that if she stopped, she would die. If you stop building your house, you're gonna fucking die too. Construction on the mansion began in 1884 and continued non-stop, 24 hours a day until Sarah Winchester's death in 1922. That's fucking insane. The construction was guided by her own designs and was influenced by her superstitions and desire to confuse the spirits she was believed were haunting her. I mean,
because it's a labyrinth because it's supposed to confuse this. Yeah.
The actual labyrinth of this house is unreal. Like the way hallways end or connect with each other doesn't make any sense. It's an actual labyrinth, which I always thought ever since the beginning of time that people thought that spirits could just float through walls.
Well, that's the thing. Spirits think they're alive.
Okay. That's right.
Also,
Right.
apparently, it only cost $5 million in 1884 money. So who knows?
$5 million in 1884.
That's a lot more today.
Money, so that's got to be like what?
Oh, so
$20 million?
$71 million.
$71 million today. That's insane. The house is an architectural marvel with 24,000 square feet, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways and fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, and 6 goddamn kitchens.
I would live in a place like that. You kidding me? Get me, get a bunch of gamer friends here. We'd make this a gamer compound. You kidding me? Dude, we'd have fiber here, okay? We'd have fiber. We'd have the 9X monitor setup. One of us would get the Droidica chair. Dude, this would be a party.
The house is famous for its unconventional features, including staircases leading to nowhere, doors that open onto blank walls, and windows overlooking other rooms, and secret passages. One of the house's most famous oddities is the door to nowhere, which opens to a sheer drop to the second floor. That's pretty fun.
See, that's when you get the ghost.
That's great.
Do you think that was?
And then the ghost realizes it's not alive. Oh, wait a minute! I can float through walls.
She's just like the spirit who's haunting me right now. He's gonna walk through and die again. Do you think that she was probably crazy enough to believe that she could kill a ghost?
That's what that was. It was a trap.
I think if she did believe that, I think that she would probably invest into like Winchester making some kind of ghost gun, or she.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get the holy water. You got to get the rock salt. You got to throw that in the 12-gauge shell. I'm telling you, it's gonna work. Eventually, we will make the anti-ghost slug. It'll happen.
That's the thing. She's just like. In her house. Another peculiar feature is a staircase that leads directly into the ceiling, ending abruptly without any purpose. Which, going in this house, this would be fucking creepy. This would be an actual like, Jesus Christ. Well, it would be like you're on like a set or something, or like
It'd be like that Escher painting. Or,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. But seeing that in real life would be odd, especially if everything was built soundly. You're just like, what the fuck? Because you'd almost think the house is like moving. There's a scene in that movie Grave Encounters where they like go up a staircase and it just leads to a wall, and it's because the actual asylum is like shifting. It's kind of like the movie Cube a little bit too. Cube. Great
Literally never seen either of these.
movie. These elements were purportedly designed to confuse and trap spirits. Visitors and staff have reported various paranormal activities, including hearing footsteps, whispers, and seeing apparitions.
So she didn't want to kill the ghost. She just wanted to confuse them.
Trapping, which I think is fucked up.
See, here's the thing though. Is that not like a worse fate? Because no, it's not that you want to get rid of the spirits, it's that you want to torment them. You want to put them in this crucible, this labyrinthian maze for them to wander for all of eternity. Wait a minute. That's kind of messed up.
They're a trap, and what are you going to do with them?
Oh, you know what? That's what it is. Okay, imagine staircase to nowhere. They walk up, they phase through the door. They don't know how to go, they don't know how to get out.
Here are some of the specific hauntings of this house, though. Many believe that Sarah Winchester herself haunts the mansion. That, of course she does. If ghosts are real, that bitch's spirit is definitely wandering around. Especially it's like a mentally unwell person caught in like a purgatory loop, definitely. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a woman in a black Victorian dress roaming the halls and disappearing around corners. This figure is often seen in rooms that Sarah frequented, such as her bedroom and the seance room.
Oh.
Seance room, that's a bitch's fuck.
Yo, wait a minute. I heard about powder rooms. We got, like foyers. Where's this? What era of construction was a seance room? Have I been lied to all these years? Like, this sounds cool as fuck. Yo, we're putting the Nintendo Wii and Wii Sports in the seance room. Are you kidding me?
Creepy, dude. Some of the ghosts are even some of the people who built the goddamn house themselves. Some of these workers have been seen or heard toiling away to this day, still building on to Winchester's large labyrinth.
That'd be hell.
That is hell. That's actually hell. You have to do, a construction worker has to do the same job forever and it never ends. There are reports of disembodied footsteps echoing through the hallways and the sound of hammers and saws in the dead of night, despite no ongoing construction except for the Red Robin being built across the street.
It's always...
One of the most haunted rooms in the house was the seance room. Sarah Winchester used a special room in the house to communicate with the spirits she believed were guiding her in the construction of the mansion. Oh, so she believed that the spirits were like, you need to add this.
She'd go in her seance room and sit down and be like, spirits, what should I do?
Spirits, where should the staircase go above the fireplace?
Hey, KFC under the couch.
Yeah, the workers are there. They're just like, a titty bar room, men only room.
She's like, I hear you, spirits. The titty bar will happen now.
Sarah would lock herself in the room from midnight to 2 a.m. and consult with the good spirits on how to continue the construction.
She's like, all right, good spirits, come on in. Bad spirits, stay out.
You think she ever... You don't need to include this in the video, but...
I love that they are anyways.
Yes, she did get her eaten out by a ghost.
Oh, but
That'd be really cold, though. That'd feel really... No, I don't think it'd be enjoyable. I don't think it'd be enjoyable. I don't know. I don't know. I guess being a widow might change that. I don't know about that one. I feel like that one's a certified L moment, though. I feel like that's one of those you think about that for the following week, and you feel like you need the multiple showers, and you don't quite forget the sensation. You're up at like 4 to 6 a.m. thinking about it in bed, and just yeah, I don't see that being pleasurable.
I was actually going to ask that if she was going to get her, if she got her pussy. How did you know that? How did you know that? Am I that predictable? That's I swear to God, that's what I was going to ask.
See, my brain instantly went there too. I'm like, oh, there's going to be something going on. But usually, I wait for other people to give cues. That way, I'm not the weird one in the room.
Room, known as the seance room, has no direct entrance or exit. It can only be accessed through a series of secret passages. That is fucking weird. Visitors
cool.
often feel a sudden drop in temperature, hear whispers, or see flickering lights when they go near this room. Some have even reported feeling an unseen presence or light touch their shoulder.
Those are the good ghosts.
Those are
the good ghosts. Yeah.
I'll suck your dick.
You want me to eat your pussy? I tell you how to where to put a staircase at your house.
Or how about we talk about the wheelbarrow ghost? Barrow? What's a wheelbarrow?
Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't know. To be fair, I'm also from Idaho.
Hey, dude.
One of the most famous ghost stories involves a spectral figure known as the wheelbarrow ghost. The apparition is often seen pushing a wheelbarrow full of coal or ashes down the long hallways. Staff and visitors have reported seeing him in the basement along with various winding corridors of the house. He is described as wearing overalls and a cap, appearing solid at first, only to vanish into thin air upon closer inspection. Or how about the crying lady, aka every woman?
Jeez.
In one of the bedrooms, there have been repeated sightings of a ghostly woman who appears to be crying. She's often seen sitting on the edge of her bed or standing by the window, looking out as if waiting for someone. How tragically romantic. This apparition is usually accompanied by the sound of soft sobbing or whispers that seem to come from nowhere. I hate that, dude. I'd be like, grow up. How long are you going to do this for? Fuck. But there are many cold spots or eerie drafts in this drab mansion. Throughout the mansion, there are numerous reports of sudden cold spots and unexplained drafts. These temperature changes are often accompanied by
Is that Travel Channel's new logo? You're kidding me, bro. Hold up. No. That's Travel Channel now? Bro, you're kidding me with that logo. Get out of here.
feelings of unease or the sensation of being watched. What was that? The cold spots are particularly prevalent in rooms where tragic events are believed to have occurred, or where Sarah spent a significant amount of time. Either somebody was bludgeoned to death, or Sarah just kind of stood there sometimes.
She's getting her pussy eaten out.
Or she's probably getting her pussy eaten by a ghost, dude. I'm just saying that we can't count that out.
Does Bad Dragon have a ghost edition? All I'm saying, there could be something there. There could be something there for some ghosty fans. All I'm gonna say, you just get something that get something a little insulated, right? Get something that can retain. You can throw in the freezer and then bring out a little cold. I could see that.
That's the first thing I would do. If I could talk to ghosts, it's ghost head. Consensual, of course.
Yeah. Of course. Does the ectoplasm stain though? I just gotta ask for the friend. I'm fine with the mess. Does it stay? Does it stick around? Is it gonna be noticeable? Also, the thing it is, how does that work if stuff passes through you? Do I got to clean it up? Does it go somewhere else? Like what? How does this work?
Yeah, do you consider ghosts? The mansion is now a popular tourist destination, offering daily tours that exploring its history, architecture, and paranormal stories. Special events like flashlight tours and Halloween events are still hosted to this day.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't mind going. Yeah, I would actually be scared though. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd go.
If I would definitely. If I went there, I'd be like, huh. What? I'm such a pussy when it comes to that stuff. I would go to these places. I'd be like, what, hello? I'm like in a huge group. Did you guys hear that? You're like, no. Next up, we have the Villisca Axe Murder House.
Oh, is it Villisca? I thought it was Vasilla. No, I'm dumb. Never mind. I just misheard it.
House, located in Villisca, Iowa, is the site of one of the most notorious unsolved mass murders in American history. In 1912, the Moore family, along with 2 friends of their children who were staying the night, were brutally murdered in their sleep with an axe. That's one thing I've noticed a lot with like a lot of ghost stories and history stuff. A lot of axe stuff. Everybody was probably cutting wood back then or whatever, but still brutal.
I mean, it's more socially acceptable than the sword, right? Like, I mean, everyone's going to have an axe, especially you think of, before, modern heating solutions, right? Like, you're going to need to chop some firewood. Axe is just a socially acceptable thing to have around. It's like you're not super worried today if somebody walks around and they got a piece on them, right? I mean, they got like a 9mm or a 45 ACP on their hip, right? Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. Versus if you have someone like me that walks around with a claymore strapped to my back, like the 6-foot sword. Okay, people are going to be like, whoa. What's Braveheart over here doing, right? It's social acceptability, easy to access. Couple factors there. Axe just makes sense. I mean, it's.
That'd be a brutal way to die.
They say it's one of the worst ways to go. Yeah.
All the victims were found in their beds, having been bludgeoned to death with an axe. And the axe was found in the guest room where Stillinger's sister was sleeping. The killer appeared to have covered the mirrors and windows in the house with cloth and clothing. If me memory serves correct, I'm pretty sure they say that demons can come through mirrors. So sometimes you cover them so they can't see you or something like that.
What's the concept? Is it a mirror box? Yeah, you say mirror box, like you get into like a box that is, and they close and they shut you in, and it's all mirrors, and apparently it's supposed to be like super terrifying. See, it's one of those things. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like when I go to like antique stores, because there's one close to me that I go to every now and again. When I go to antique stores, you can tell if it's a really old mirror. Like you just get a really disconcerting feeling around old mirrors. Like, I don't know, there's something, it's not like I'm expecting something to jump out and grab me, right? But I don't know, I hate looking into mirrors. I heard recently something mirrors show us our deepest thoughts about ourselves. More kind of like an introspective thing rather than a paranormal thing. I don't know, me and mirrors, we don't really get along. Excuse me, sorry, chicken nuggets. As it turns out, the McNuggies are coming back with a vengeance. I have succeeded. I have thwarted their attempts on my life. However, they have come back for round 2. They have brought the second assassino.
I'm sure there's some kind of.
Was that in Constantine? He like jumped out in the mirror and the dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. That scene actually rules. The Constantine movie is actually fucking sick.
Never seen it.
All the victims' faces were covered with sheets after they were killed, and the ceiling in the parents' bedroom and the children's room showed gouge marks, presumably from the upswing of the axe. He's a fucking like 7'5" like ogre man. Yeah, get stuck.
How did they all sleep through this again?
Well, I mean, if you get a fucking axe to the back of the head or whatever,
you're out pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't think they were like. He was like, "Hey, wake up" or anything. I think he just went in and probably just fucking did a.
No, I mean we're talking probably very clean, and I use the word clean in a very specific sense, right? You go in, deed is done, move on, right? Very automated, very well. I can't even use the word professional because it's obviously a very horrible and tragic accident. It's a very horrible and tragic event, right? Very methodic is, I guess, the word I would use.
On and done, I'm pretty sure. If I was a betting man, the investigation saw several suspects, but no one was ever convicted of the crime. But once again, it's 1912, so they're just like, "Did you do it?" The guy's like, "No." And they're like, "All right, go ahead." The Villisca Axe Murder House is now considered one of the most haunted locations in the United States. Numerous reports of paranormal activity have been recorded, and the house is a popular destination for ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts like Sam and Colby, who did a video with Joe Rogan because they were on his podcast.
Would you ever?
Bro, who is? I keep coming across this Joe Rogan figure, and I don't know who he is. I know people have explained it to me. They've explained the phenomenon that is Joe Rogan. I still have zero idea who this man is.
Want to do a video with Sam and Colby?
Would I ever go to his haunting with Sam and Colby, a haunted house? No, you do not understand. I would be too scared. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those videos. It induces a goddamn panic attack. They're like, yo! I mean, it flusters me up. I'm like, what? I don't think I could do it. Visitors often report seeing shadowy figures, especially in the children's room and in the attic where the killer's believed to have hidden before the murders. I always thought it was weird that the guy hid in the attic before the murders and he climbed up the fucking house. God, my fucking shoulder.
Wait, are you the axe murderer?
No. Apparitions of the victims have been reported, particularly on the Moore children. Disembodied voices, children's laughter, and cries have been heard. And some visitors have even reported being touched, pushed, or scratched by unseen forces. Paranormal investigators have even captured EVPs that seem to respond directly to questions. These recordings include children's voices saying, "Help me, play," or simply calling out names. Josh, Jamal, Aquarius. Other EVPs feature sounds of distress, such as moans, cries, and pleas for help.
Like, you would have to think, though, right? At some point, someone somewhere would be able to just be like, yeah, like, this is kind of a really awful fate. Just gonna go make some Naruto hand seals and just banish all the spirits to the afterlife, right? Like surely, I don't know, maybe there's ethics and morals that go into that. Maybe it depends on, practitioner. I don't know, man. It's like, it's one of those things where it feels like if there was something of substance there, someone would have dealt with it in some way, shape, or form, right? Like, someone would be like, yeah, no, this is an awful fate. Like, they need to pass on. But I don't know, maybe it's the pop culture, like, understanding of, like, acceptance. Like, hey, you are no longer with us. You can, as it turns out, move on. I don't know. Like, it's so interesting to think about.
Morty. Many people report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread or sadness upon entering the certain rooms, particularly the attic and the children's rooms. Probably because they know that people were fucking murdered here. I feel sad all of a sudden. There's like blood stains all over the walls. I feel bummed. I think I'm being haunted. It's like, no, you probably know that fucking kids were murdered in here. Several mediums and psychics have visited the house, claiming to communicate with the spirits of the victims. They often describe the spirits as being in distress and seeking closure. And some mediums have even described playful interactions with children's spirits, such as
No. Oh, yeah, the spirits are in distress. Okay, but we can monetize it. we can at least have 3 travel specials on this. Okay, we can make this happen over the course of a couple years. Okay, if 2 specials 1 and 2 do well, we can think about making the 4th. Once again, coming back to the subject of there's just no organization out there that's just like, yeah, this is pretty messed up. They can do this, the house is still haunted thing, but we've dealt with this. I feel like this would be a thing.
Feeling small hands tugging at their clothes, or sensing a playful energy in the rooms where the children slept. You guys feel like playing? I just feel, all of a sudden, I feel like playing in here. Anybody else? Yeah, they're all just adult babies. Anybody else want to play with this cool riding horse or whatever the fuck it's called?
Yeah, Buttercup.
Their balls and they're just like hopping around the room. Mediums have sensed the presence of Josiah and Sarah Moore in the house. Josiah is often described as having a protective energy, trying to watch over his family and even in the afterlife. Sarah's spirit is said to be deeply sorrowful, mourning the loss of her children. Sarah's spirit has reportedly communicated the pain and horror of that night, expressing feelings of helplessness and an overwhelming sense of loss. Now, why are you so hung up, dude? It happened. Get over it. Here's the thing. This is gonna sound fucked up.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me with this. I'm ready.
If I was a ghost and it's been 100 years, I think I would have been able to process the kids fucking passing by now. They're all
He's just like, okay, I've been here for a century. I'm out. Like peace, deuces. Flashes peace sign, vanishes, like 100 opacity.
Spirits or whatever, and you're reliving that thing. How many times do you have to fucking relive it before you're just like, it happened? What am I supposed to do, dude? Unless they're in a perpetual time loop where it's new every time.
Yeah. That hurts.
Unless they're in
suck.
a perpetual time loop where it's new. Some psychics have described sensing a replay of the events of the murder night. They feel the terror and confusion that the victims must have experienced. This includes feeling the sudden fear, hearing sounds of the attack, and even feeling a heavy, oppressive atmosphere in certain rooms. That'd be kind of fucked up. Imagine if being there and you're just like, I feel like killing someone with an axe. And the other person's just like, I'm feeling like I'm going to get attacked. It's like each person is experiencing different people in the house. There have been accounts of mediums feeling...
It's like some messed up version, more messed up version of the Final Fantasy house.
physical sensations such as tightness in the chest, difficulty breathing, or sharp pains, which they believe correspond to the experience of the victims during the attacks. And many psychics have focused on the attic, believed to be where the killer hid before committing the murders. They often sense a dark, malevolent presence in the space. The energy is described as heavy and oppressive, causing the feelings of dread and discomfort. And
It definitely has nothing to do with the lack of lighting.
the attic is also reported to contain the residual fear of the victims. Psychics sense the terror and panic that emanates from this area, believing it to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. The children's bedroom is often described as the most emotionally charged area, and psychics feel the innocence and playfulness of the children's spirits contrasted with the horror of the final moments.
Do they think a demon killed them with the axe? They think the attic is the most haunted?
I think that they're saying that the guy spent the most time up there brewing these dark thoughts that he was going to do. So maybe he like left behind this like horrible, evil energy or something. Like, I'm going to fucking kill myself.
It's where he spent the most time and exerted the most energy, realistically, right? The most of that type of energy seeped into the environment is what the kind of claim, I guess, is being made. But then again, so I have to wonder as well how much cognizance plays into it. So, for example, if you have somebody who is, just brewing, stewing all day, right? This is clearly premeditated, or this is going to happen, right? I mean, sure, that doom and gloom feels like that could pervade an area like the attic, right? But what happens if the victims aren't conscious, like they're not cognizant, right? Like, I mean, obviously, you want to tie... Pop culture ties very heavy emotions, especially negative emotions, like fear, anguish, etc. They tie that to paranormal activity, right? Whether that's things like, what is it? Mexico, La Llorona? I honestly, I apologize for my pronunciation. I can't actually remember it. Something, losing a child, something, kind of like a siren song, trying to get people to follow her, right? Clearly, there are very strong themes of, depression, sadness, anguish, right? Frustration, even. Certain hauntings as well, very much a malevolent force, anger, hatred, rage, being merciless, ruthless, right? And you have other hauntings, when you're more residual hauntings, when you're just, depressed, kind of, sorrowful, right? Kind of looking empty-ish, so to speak. But I think that the common theme here, I would argue, is that, okay, so there's cognizant energy put into the environment. If the light bulbs of the family were cut short, and they weren't cognizant, I would assume that, I don't know, it's hard. Like, at what point in pop culture, at least, does the ghost, the haunting begin, right? Like, does it begin the moment the body expires? Does it mean the moment the soul, quote unquote, separates? Especially if we're talking about how in pop culture, the final moments are, and build up, so emotionally charged, right, are a core root cause of these things. What happens if there is no emotion other than, I'm going to bed, I'll see you tomorrow, and tomorrow obviously never comes. So I wonder, like, mostly it's like the sequencing, if that makes sense, the sequencing between alive and unalive, leaving body, withdrawing from surroundings or bleeding into surroundings spiritually. Right? I wonder what the sequencing on that is.
Like that kind of thing. So that's just like that energy is left over there. I don't know. But there's so many more mysterious, weird, haunted places in America. We just scratched the surface, but I have to leave you today. Did you get titillated? Did you get scared? I don't know. I think haunted houses are kind of interesting. I think everybody has like a weird ghost story somehow. Even non-believers, I think, have a little brush with fear every once in a while. And haunted houses are just weird artifacts to horrible, horrible things that happen. And it is just weird urban legends standing as monolithic, weird structures that still remain haunting to this day. And I think that's pretty cool. So maybe we'll cover some more again in the future. But for now, I'm a little too spooked to continue. Until next time, y'all.
Very spooky.
Stay haunted.
Too spooky. I actually really love this video. This was really cool. I love diving into spooky topics. I mean, I kind of rotated it through now and again, but sometimes I actually really do enjoy going through some spooky content. I enjoy doing the spook. And being able to react to it, kind of engage with it, and even then kind of talk about, joke about, deal with certain things, right? And Papa Meats, honestly, he's had a fantastic video library that I've been watching. So thank you, Papa Meat, for an amazing video. This was very hilarious. I absolutely love this. And thank you, everyone, for watching as well. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, stuff in the comment section down below. As always, please be civil and appreciate you watching. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.